only concern here is moderating it. And I have personal concerns because back in March, I had a GI bleed, and I got to Bay Area Hospital, and my heart, before they could get the transfusions going in this, it stopped in minutes, which is an eternity. Welcome back. Right, welcome back up. So if that were to happen today, what really has concerned me is if that were to happen today, I would be dead on Hilltop Drive.
Yeah.
And I don't like the fact that our citizens have been put in this position. I mean, a major heart attack, a major anything. The day that the fire hall went down, I went to our city administrator and I said, is there anything anywhere that gives us the authority or the responsibility to step in and take over just to guarantee we have the service for our people? And Curtis said, you know, that's over my head. So we tried our city attorney, who was out on vacation at the time, so we called the League of Oregon Cities, and their legal staff looked into it and said, no, we had no authority to be involved with the special district. So my next move, I hope at some point, is that we get something changed where that can happen. Not that this occurrence would happen again, but that it happened once, so there's no guarantee that it won't happen again. So hopefully we will be able to do that. And we do have a few some people here that you don't recognize or know. One is an honored guest in the front row, Rosie Chapman, who is Senator Arnie Roeblin's #1 assistant and not maybe the most qualified. We're glad that she's with us today, and she will be taking some notes and looking into some of these issues. So from Hauser, we don't have any of their people represented except Dave Hudson. And so if you have questions about the Hauser department taking us over or doing whatever, Dave would be the one to address on that, and he can answer you.
Keep it here.
and of course, you know the others at the head table here. So I have a list back there of people who signed up to ask questions or make comments, and we will start with that. And then you can address whomever you want to speak to. Come up to the podium so everybody can hear you. Anybody else want to sign in before we get started?
Okay. After we go through the list, anybody who might have questions in regards to anything they've heard are more than welcome to ask them at that time as well. You just have to raise your hand, and the mayor will call on you at that time, okay?
Stacy, can you introduce everybody?
Why don't we let them introduce themselves?
Okay, a couple other housekeeping items. If anybody is in possession of a firearm, we would please ask you to take it outside and not have it in the hall with you. This sounds a little bit silly, but it's, I think it's necessary. So thank you. The other thing that I would like to make a statement about is courtesy. When somebody is speaking, they're allowed to speak. Their opinion is as good as yours or mine or somebody else's. So we will not have a lot of talk over. We will not have arguments. If somebody wants to be argumentative and raise too much hell, they will be asked to leave. So those are kind of the ground rules. So we're a bunch of adults and we have a common problem. And let's try and resolve it as best we can, as best we know how. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, we will start now.
Dean,
Yes?
we're going to let everybody introduce themselves and do the pledge first.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Rosie's already been introduced, so go ahead and stand and state your name, and we'll go through the audience all the way around.
No, there's a camera.
Who's up here?
Yeah.
So,
They don't know you.
well, this is, what's your name? I
I
think it's Dan Barnes, who. Thank you, I almost forgot. The fire chief. This is Lona Anderson, who is Owen's Lona.
I'm sorry.
Right, she is a retired person from the fire board, and Stacy Benn, who is a fireman in the district. And is pretty bold. Yes, sir.
He just walked in.
Oh,
We haven't seen it yet.
okay. I just repeated that if you're carrying firearms, we ask that you leave them outside.
Do you have a firearm? Fred, do you have a firearm?
Yeah, not here.
Okay. You're not packing, huh?
Okay, and so, are you gonna want to ask questions or speak?
Do what now?
Do you want to speak before the crowd today?
No.
Okay.
Okay, because this is sign-up sheet. Okay, if you will join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and please accept the fact I can't stand up very quick, so please join me anyhow. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, well, let's get this show on the road. The first speaker will be Gus Polka. If you please stand, come to the mic.
Go ahead and give him that mic, Dan.
There, right?
You just wait.
I gotta use that?
Yeah? You made me use
I've
it.
got a good voice. I figured that out.
Exactly.
My name is Gus Polk. I live in Lakeside State. I have been monitoring what's been going on and don't like it. We have people out in that lake out there that I don't know, I know some of them. But if there's ever an emergency where we gotta get some help out there, I don't see how we can put a pontoon on a fire truck and get it out there. That's gonna be a problem. If someone dies out there because of our inaction, what's gonna happen? Anybody wanna know?
Lawsuits.
That's gonna be a hell of a lawsuit. How much money we got hanging around that we can throw away? The problem we have is we have three people that are telling us we're gonna do it our way, we don't count. Now, unless I'm mistaken, I'm still an American, I'm still part of this town, this city, and it seems to me the city runs the fire department, not these three guys. So, I guess what I'm saying is, I would like the city to declare a state of emergency. I think we have that power under public safety.
Amen.
I don't know, when you get to people, well, but what I'm saying is, the city's got an obligation too. Because it's in our town, it's our city. So, if we declare this a state of emergency, I don't know what our attorney's gonna do, since he's out of town, but we gotta do something, we just can't let this go on forever, people.
Amen.
Hauser is not our fire department.
Right.
That man right there runs our fire department.
Exactly.
I'm not kidding.
I would just like to tell you one thing. Each one of you are a member of the district. You, each and every one of you, every one of us up here, own the district. Take your ownership, stand up, and run with it, and demand your department open. Demand the people off the hook.
Okay, next on the list is Faye Ricky.
Uh-oh, a little box of dynamite there.
Just remember, good things come in small packages.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see you all here today. I just want to say that I went through a whole lot. I've been a firefighter for you citizens for 5 years, and I appreciate that honor very, very much. I would like to continue to be a firefighter, EMR. On December 10th, I finished my EMR, and I'm not young. When I finished that, I was told that any time that there's an emergency, it's my responsibility to respond to calls. And now it's been a while. I'm really tired of not being able to respond. I can't even listen to my radio because it hurts too bad that I can't respond. What maybe some of you don't know is I was ill for about 1.5 years and wasn't able to participate in all the activities at the fire department. So when I got all well, against all doctors' predictions, I came back. And I love serving my community. The thing is that you guys are being shortchanged. I've been up behind the mic before, as many of you know. And that was December of 2014. How long are we going to allow these same people to rule us, to take away what we want? These people started off in the fire department, some of them. Other ones messed things up all over town. And the thing is, they went after people. This one guy who should not be any kind of president, and I don't care what anybody says about that, until he starts doing what he's supposed to do. I have watched since the last legal meeting in my mind was January 25th.
Yes, ma'am.
The following meetings all through February have been illegal. Either your agendas are not right, and then they go into session and they don't know how to fix that or where it is appropriate to fix that. There was even one agenda that was posted that was supposed to be for public. All of a sudden, that changed. They took that one down and made it into a special meeting. Well, you guys, that's not right. Oh, and then halfway through the meeting, they started reading ORSs that they forgot to put on the agenda. All of that is supposed to be done immediately after opening your meeting, not later. You don't go take down agendas. That's just the little thing stuff. It doesn't show where a lot of you don't realize that the acting chairman, or so he calls himself, was a firefighter. What happened? Anyway, he was a firefighter, and I'm sorry I recruited him. I also, my husband and I are, all right, Mike.
That's fine, you guys had a thing.
Fire buying a house from this individual.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Anyway, in December on Christmas Eve, this man, who you guys, I don't know how many of you guys like him, but I became where I don't like him. He stopped the payment on our house. I still have heard nothing from an attorney. We have made no more payments on our house, and that's been since December. I say, does he break all the rules everywhere he goes?
Yes.
Anyway, apparently in Montana, before he came here, he was a chief. And apparently he wasn't a very good one either. I'm in contact with the members of the fire department there, and they have flat out told me what he did to their department. By the time they got rid of him from their department, they had 3 volunteers left.
I got it. Here, come up, ladies, come up front. I think everybody can hear you all right. We can hear you, Cindy. Yeah.
I apologize. It's okay. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, when I met Ralph, I thought, oh, he was a former chief. Great, we need him for our department, so I bring him on. And I'm the kind of person that tries to find good in every person, and I'm still trying to do that with Mr. Doc.
Good luck.
That's what's keeping us on.
I've known lots of wealthy people in my time that have helped me a great deal. Something funny happened right around Christmas, I think. There was this fish that one of my firefighters' mothers had painted, and it was on sale for $10, and I wanted to buy it for my husband for a present. But I didn't have the $10 on me, so I said, can you hold that back for me? I'll bring the $10 next week. Well, this is when nobody knew this gentleman. He walked over, shelled out $10, and that room got flashed, and, you know, and you couldn't hear nothing. And I think it's because they were all trying to think, hey, you're married. Anyway, but maybe not. All I'm trying to say is this person did every facet of his life. When he was a firefighter, he had it in for some of the people that were friends with the former Chief Ted Ross. And he has went after each and every one as a firefighter. And as time continued on, he got somehow or other defeated, even though we had a resolution in place. Had I have known that we could break that resolution and that ORS 198-115, I'd have broke it, I'd have ran instead of asking my husband to. But that's not how it worked. He was managed somehow or other to put in as a resignation for being a firefighter 10 days before he was sacked.
Yes, sir.
After running for the election. Don't ask me why he didn't fly again. Anyway, and then as a board member, what do you think he did? And this is the honest to God's truth. I got all the facts to back it up. He walked in as a board president and started in on all those firefighters that he had a vendetta against. Every last one of them. Made me look like I was not someone for him to trust. Also his district secretary, several other firefighters, that we were bad people because we stood up and would not stand on the same side of the fence as him. He kept calling my fellow brothers and sisters of service my friends. Well, you just don't be in a department for 5 years and not be friends with people, do you? No. Anyway, all I'm saying is, are we going to allow these people to keep going? It's been this long, and I'm honest. I'm very, very tired of fighting for our fire department. It is time for you citizens to take up the reins and help us because we need your help. We can't allow them to keep doing this to us. We need to be out there to serve all of you. And I mean, there's a lot of you that are elderly, and I really, really care about you people because you honored me with this service. And that's the way it is. It's an honor to serve you, and I would like to get right back to that as soon as I can. I'm tired of waiting. I mean, I don't know. What can we do? Huh? What can we do?
What we're here for.
That's what we're here for. And I have a few ideas up my sleeve, but I'm going to let a few other people talk about that now. I've probably said enough.
Let me borrow your sleeve.
Thank you.
Thank you, Faye.
Some of you, there are packets over on the table. In one of the packets, you will see the resolution, which was adopted November 21st, 1960.
It's been revised since 1994, but
Been revised, but it states the same thing. It's the same statement as this. Those records we cannot touch right now. But there is that resolution that you may look at along with the ORSs that state that this resolution is what they have to follow, and it was not followed.
Okay, thank you, Faye. Thank you, Lorna. Next on the list is Raylene Erickson.
Okay, so hi, I'm Raylene Erickson, for anybody that does not know me. I am a volunteer with Lakeside Fire Department. I've been on since October. So a few questions that my family and I have come up with is the letter that was drawn up for Dan to put him on paid administrative leave?
Yes.
Okay. When was that letter drawn up? Do you guys know?
Date, March 2nd.
Okay, also, for them to have drawn that up, were they in an executive meeting? And if so, do we know the date of that executive meeting and when it happened?
It was a secret meeting.
It was a secret meeting. I can answer that one. It was a secret meeting on March 1st. No, it would be February 29th, 2016. I was down at the fire station Chief Dan Barnes was greeted at the fire station and informed to report to duty that morning. The next morning, he got an email telling him he's to report to duty at 9 o'clock that morning of the 29th. Upon arrival to the fire station that morning on the 29th, he was greeted with Ralph Dotson, who aggressively informed him.
That was the 26th, Friday the 26th.
Was it the 26th? Okay, 26th. He was rudely and aggressively approached by Ralph Dotson, along with myself and some fellow firefighters, and informed he needs to turn over the keys to the office. He is to, or the station as well, he is to do all of his administrative work from home. He has been cut down to 20 hours a week, when in his contract it says 40 hours.
No.
It isn't 40?
Minimum of 80 hours a month.
Okay, so let me correct that then. So 20 hours, and he's supposed to do it from home. Now, I don't know about you, but how can you run a fire station from home? How can you oversee the daily operations from sitting in your living room, sitting on your couch watching television? You can't. You don't know what's going on.
And so,
How big is this now?
what?
Let her go.
What really, yeah, insurance?
Oh, I was answering a question for her.
Yeah, no, okay,
So the fact of the matter is, so what happened was,
don't know when that means.
the meeting, let me get to it. I can only assume because I recorded a bunch of things that it was done that day because I got on recording Shelley Rose saying they are not going to, and I got it on YouTube, they are not going to continue his internship as chief. And I do have that on video, so that's the answer that I only have.
That was Shelley Rose's decision?
That's what's on video, they said.
Okay, another topic was the houses that are boat access only. Cause there's a few of them out there like that are boat access only, you can't get to them by road. What is our plan for that right now? I'm thinking it's North Bend has to come in, right? Dean, would you go? So that would take a little bit of time, a lot of time. So with us, me personally with Sam, on a boat, we've timed it, when we're in the water, to get to our majestic shore station where we have a Jeep that's not currently parked there, is it?
Yep.
It is, okay, the Jeep is currently parked there. To get to our majestic shore station, it takes around 3 minutes. That's it, 3 minutes. If our boat is in the water, we get on the boat 3 minutes. So, North Bend Tucson's time is going to be a lot longer than that. And it's,
Minimum 30.
so, I mean, we need our station up and running. Also, who oversees the fireworks? Who's in charge of the fireworks? That's you.
No.
Nope. No. It's you, the people. You own the district. You are the ones that have the board, and they must answer to you.
They won't answer.
I realize that. Keep yourself hurt. Make your complaints. Get hold of the Ethics Commission. Get hold of the Attorney General's office. Get hold of the Secretary of State's office. File your complaints on the phone with them. There is one that is called fraud and abuse. They are abusing their powers. Make a complaint. They will be, if we inundate them with complaints, they will do something to help us.
You have a list of phone numbers we can use?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much.
Just, if afterwards you go over to the desk, I have the list of numbers for you.
We will get to all that at the conclusion of the people on the list. Okay. Did you want to sign up?
Hi, I'm Betsy Carlson, Lakeside resident, and I would like to suggest, a lot of us are old and don't really understand what the heck is going on.
That's what we're getting to.
Yeah, so maybe we could all get together and agree on a letter to go to the state that we would all be able to sign rather than individual phone calls. From
Betsy, if you would allow us to let the young lady finish hers, and then we can come back to you, please. Thank you. Okay,
I'm done.
are you doing okay?
The more letters and phone calls you get, the crowd these people, the better response you're gonna get.
It's just like going for a job interview, you can do it online. But if you don't show up, oh well, he's not really interested.
Okay, we
If
will
they
get,
get 300 letters, they'll sit up and take notice.
we will get to this on the end of the, signed up speakers. Okay, next it's Frank Kinsey. And you do it well.
My name is Frank Kennedy. Excuse me, I got a cold. I thought it was important to be here. I just started getting involved in this. About 3 weeks ago or so, the first meeting I went to, I sat there and the board did absolutely nothing but praise the chief. Anybody that was there can remember that nothing is your fault, you didn't do anything wrong, you've done everything right, you're a great guy. The next week, the only way I can put it is they threw him under the bus. Well, there's a question about money being spent, and then I understand the board says, well, we haven't been a board long enough to be responsible for anything, but the chief has. It's not the chief's job. The chief's job is to run the fire department and the crews, not to pay bills. So, I have some observations. The chief went down here and opened up the fire department. There was a pickup, it was a black or dark blue, it was like a black 80s, somewhere in the 80s model Chevrolet pickup, short box lowered, sitting across the street, on the wrong side of the road is what brought my attention to it. Anyway, when he drove the truck out of the fire department and parked it, he crawled out of the truck and people were going over to the fire department. This pickup fired up and turned around and headed towards the gates. Nice lady told me, said, you come on over here, you know, you can join us. So I went over, so I didn't see what direction that pickup went. I don't know if it's important. But I do know that, in my mind, and if you think about it, that's where things started rolling to issue the letter, put him on paid administratively, didn't get red on it because he opened up the fire department. That's one thing they did not want, and they proved that by holding this meeting and putting him on administrative leave. And people are already saying, why can't we have our fire department operating? We paid the insurance, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let me say something about the insurance. When they came down and demanded the keys at the fire department, they had somebody with them to pick the locks. That's breaking and entering. What I understand, they have no business going in the fire department. That's the chief. So that's breaking and entering. I don't know how they get away with that. Not mine. It's above my pay grade. But anyway, they did that. I believe that they were being recorded trying to pick the lock to get in the chief's office.
Yes.
I believe they were asked, why are you doing this? What's going on? Why can't we operate? We have insurance, and I do believe on that tape it says, no, we don't have insurance. And the question is asked, what? We don't have insurance? No, we don't have insurance. Not 10 minutes later, they were telling the sheriffs out there, same individual, yes, we have insurance, yes, they can be dispatched. That's your board. That's your board. I'm going to tell you, my wife and her parents own property here. I've been coming to Lakeside since I was 12 years old. There was a time when this city was full of World War I retirees. My dad was a World War II retired, a hero. Okay? Had a lot of friends here. I did my time as a family thing. But these people come in here and they tell, they're talking on both sides of their face. They're good politicians, pardon my French. But, to move on, it wasn't too long after that the station was opened that this paper shows up at our meeting. And one of the things on the meeting was about the chief. When we went to that meeting, the first thing that was talked about, and it wasn't even talked about, is they suspended the chief. That's what they did. Now, there was a lot of unhappy people there. Understand the way I was. I just kept my mouth shut. I figured I couldn't be heard anyway. We let the board know that we were unhappy, that they were not doing what we wanted. What happened there was the board ignored that. The board did what they wanted to do. I do believe there was a petition going around of voter no confidence.
Yeah.
Is that still going, or did it just quit?
I don't have any more copies, there's more.
I'll find it.
Just a minute, one at a time, please.
The petition, everything needs to be done individually. The petition is on the website, well, actually, a Facebook page called For the Betterment of Lakeside. If you are on Facebook or need to go on it, it's all free. Just go on to the benefit, and it's under file, For the Betterment of Lakeside. But you have to join. And it's available. Everybody just needs to sign it, and the next time we meet, we'll collect them. And if you are, it's on the website. Yeah, you print it out and sign it. You're not on Facebook? You can just register for Facebook very quickly.
What if you don't have internet?
There you go.
Then I think
We can get you copies.
we can get copies. We can get copies.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So, everybody knows if you haven't, signed, you can sign. You know how somebody can do it through Facebook. My wife and I are on that. And they will print you out copies if you can, if you don't have internet. The important thing here is, I'm observing, is the harder we have tried to make our voices heard, the more we're ignored. And I do understand that if people resign from the board, the majority of the board, if they agree, can appoint a member to fill that seat. I'm going to stand here and tell you, I don't want anybody that believes differently to go ahead and stand up and tell me, shut up. I don't believe that was ever intended for one individual to pick every other member on that board. It's not what that's for. That's for one person. Now, if I'm wrong, I'd like to know it. But I do believe that's what's happened. The people on that board was picked by one person.
all the board.
I think that if the board would have been fair and above and wanted to do things properly, the other day, they would have suspended meetings. Everything that they did that day, to me, was illegal, it wasn't a board.
Exactly.
So I don't understand how we stand here and sit here, and this man is on administrative paid leave when it wasn't legal. I'd like to know how that comes about. I would also like to know, because I listened to the phone call where that lawyer on the phone, I'm telling you, that lawyer was not speaking for the district.
No.
That lawyer was speaking for the board. And I'm going to tell you, your money paid for that. And I believe that if they're speaking for the board, why the hell are you paying for it? Why isn't the board paying for it?
It's a civil suit that you, the people, can bring against the board illegally. They can pay for the attorney. They can have to be paid to pay Hauser back for their costs. They can be made to call and pay for the insurance that they managed to get canceled. Give them a civil suit.
Okay, and next on the list is Philip Maloney.
Hello, for all of you who don't know, I am Philip Maloney. I am the team leader for the Lakeside CERT team, which we are involved. What CERT is a volunteer citizens. We are trained to supplement first responders in the case of a major disaster or major emergency. We can do everything from light search and rescue, like fire suppression, triage, wherever we're needed, we can fill in. And how it's supposed to work is the local teams are at the direction of their local fire department or police department, depending on the situation. However, with our fire department being closed, if there was a major earthquake right now, quite honestly, House can't get here, Reedsport can't get here, Gardner can't get here, Winchester Bay can't get here, we're on our own. We have nobody to direct us. We are not allowed under Oregon Office of Emergency Management to self-deploy. We have to be activated. There's no one here that can do that right now. So right now, if there's a major disaster, all the citizens of Lakeside are up the creek without a paddle, because there's nobody here to help you. As long as our fire department's closed, if something happens, we're all in the same boat, and it's going to go down fast. I mean, we need to get this fire department back open. This is ridiculous. It takes way too long for Hauser to respond on good conditions. If something major happens, they're going to be busy and they're on the district. Even if they could get here, they're not going to. They're going to be busy. They're not going to have the personnel to do it. It's going to fall on us to get the department open. Thank you for your time.
Next on the list is Ron Mulliken.
I can't add anything to what's been said, other than this is asinine.
And next is Mary Sperlin.
You're funny.
Go, Mary. Let's stop ahead of time. You're
Well, it's clear that what the board has done, a lot of things illegal, like having that letter drafted at the last meeting ahead of time, means they had to have had an executive meeting ahead of time, which I'm under the assumption that executive meetings have to be posted. I never saw an executive meeting posted. So when did they decide on that? Because it obviously was decided before the meeting, because it was already drafted. I completely agree with what was said about the lawyer working for the board and not for the citizens. So if everything that the board has done is illegal, and I asked Stockton also about, because I haven't read that ORS about where somebody can't be on the phone, the board member, they have to be on video. So I asked him if that was true. I asked him if he has read that ORS. He thought it only had to be electronically. I said, well, are you going to go home and read it again? He said, yes, I am. I said, if they are correct, and it has to be where we can see it, it has to be on video, what are you going to do about it? He says, well, then we'll have to do all this again. So if that is true, that ORS is true, everything at that meeting is null and void. It's not correct. And it's clear that what they've done is illegal. So I'm not understanding why you're abiding by the and why our fire department is not open. I think you should.
One thing I will say is, we call the sheriff's department, and we had Sergeant Moore down there talk to us, I believe Stacy talked to him, and I talked to him as well. And in their mind's eye, they cannot see any reason why we should not be open. Now, I agree with them, but the thing that's happening, the sheriff's department said they don't want to be involved with any of this stuff. And it's civil, and so they have better things to do, catching real bad guys. So the sheriff's Andy's just pissed. Anyway, what I was told by Sergeant Moore was that they would have to get a letter from the attorney, the district attorney, to say that it's okay to respond. Now, I emailed Mr. Williamson, Ross Williamson, the attorney, and I put him on the spot. I asked him why we should not be running, and he's going to have to answer to the citizens and so on. And I told him that Sheriff Zanni's going to request a letter, and then he will weigh everything in and then make the decision. So I'm waiting for Sheriff Zanni right now. And I also explained to Mr. Williamson that this is not a joke anymore. This is ridiculous. We have people we have to get to help him. That's what we're here for. And then I put here's where I put it on. I said, if this was your fire department, your home, and your family involved, and it was closed like it is done now, what would you do? And it's the same thing with everybody else. Anybody else that's involved with this, what would you do? If your fire department was shut down, you'd have no help. And for me, this is really personal because I hear and I see the terror in people's eyes and their voices when they don't know if they're going to get help. So that's not the way boards should perform, but that's what's going on.
I forgot one thing. The only reason we shut down was because we didn't have insurance. We have insurance.
Yeah.
So there is no excuse for them not to have opened us back up.
Correct.
That's why I went and barricaded myself in there.
Okay,
Could I clarify something?
okay, hold on just a minute. We have people still on the list that want to speak.
I just have one question, Ralph, while you're on the subject right now. Talking about civil matters, when they broke into the fire department, that's not civil, that's breaking the law.
That's right, that's.
Yeah, that's part of the process that we're doing right now, so that's not production.
Two different issues.
Okay, moving right along, and we will get to open discussion very shortly. Steve Holt. Steve Holt, please.
If anybody wants to, there is some forms here for the, no competency in the board. So afterwards, you
No, it
may.
ain't them. I got them with this resolution.
Oh, no, I wanted to know.
I got those coming.
I do want to say that in September, I died, and Lakeside Fire Department saved me. I wouldn't be here if that wasn't for them. If the same thing happened again, I wouldn't be here. It would have been over. We need our fire department open. I think about all the things Ted and prior board members have done for this community, and it's just all gone now. I don't understand. I'm told we've had a fire department here since 1957, and now we don't. I don't understand why it's closed. I don't understand why we can't just open it up and go back to work. It's just beyond me. We have insurance now, and anything I'm just being redundant in anything else I say because you guys already said it. But I just wanted to put that in there that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Lakeside Fire Department. We need to get it.
We need to start our own fraternity. Okay, thank you, Steve. Next is Linda Clausen.
I can't stand up because I have no balance. I followed the fire department for the last 3 years. My husband was on the board, and then at the election, he was no longer on the board. He made good decisions. He made decisions for the community, for their safety and welfare. I don't see where this board, or Lona's board, made a mistake.
Not my board.
No, I'm talking about before the election.
The current board, or the past board.
And since then, there's only been one person that tries to drive the vote on the board. Have you noticed 4 out of 5 people have resigned? That's not how I want to be represented. I want my choice sitting up there at a table. I want to respect the fire board. There has been theft, lies, I would say trickery, but I can't prove that one, but I don't doubt it. He damaged the fire station in Montana, and now he's managed to shut it down here. I think it's illegal, and I think we should do something about it. That's all.
Naomi? I know you probably don't need her either.
Neither do you, Laura.
The ones that laugh the most are the ones that don't need the microphone. What I want to say is, I haven't gone to a lot of board meetings, the fire department. When I went to one, I've gone to a few. One I went to is when the new board came on, and they did dismiss the chief. And then they installed Dan as the interim chief. There was a big hullabaloo from a group, and I refer to some of this group as the Magnificent Seven and the puppeteers, because I feel that's what's going on. That's my own thing. I will say that Mike Armstrong was very angry. And he asked me how they could put Dan Barnes on there because he wasn't a fireman. He had quit. So I asked Dan. He'd been on the fire department since February. So I went out to Mike Armstrong and I said, look, he's been on the fire department, so we were promoted and put him as chief. They have not been happy since that day. Well, before that, they weren't happy either. They're never happy. But what has transpired, Ralph Dawson is not the leader. Ralph Dawson is one of the puppets. The puppeteer pulls the string. Dan has not been able to open the fire department and do anything because they didn't attach strings to him. So he can't be maneuvered and do what... That was really good. So they can't make him do what they want. Dan went in there, and I saw a list for a meeting of everything that needed to be done to that fire hall. There's rot in it, some rotten stairs, the fire trucks needed to be tuned up, all that stuff needed to be done. He submitted that list to the board. I don't know if the board acted on any of it. Probably not. Dan has been doing a really good job trying to fix things up. When they claim what they did this last meeting was so unethical, we all stood up with the firemen and went up front and protested. They didn't like that, so they called the sheriff's department. The poor sheriff's department knew that deputies responded. And I did go up to one of the deputies and say, well, I don't think you can arrest all of us, you don't have enough room in your jail.